we finally made it, yay. This is the video that I told you that I was going to do with the review packets that we've been using all week with the FSA questions. So I'm going to actually be doing it on the Elmo rather than up here, just to speed things up a little bit so I don't have to keep changing the screen. But I just want you to know that the large majority of you, you know who you are, you work so hard. I want to thank you. You make my job easier. You are the reason why I'm a teacher. I love seeing you every day, and I appreciate all the hard work that you put into this. So we're going to go and rock this on Monday and Tuesday, and hopefully this weekend you can find this video valuable, and also any of the other videos that I've done. So hopefully these things help you, and like I told you in class, if you have any questions after watching this or on anything else that we've done, and you can't find the answer by Googling it or asking a family member or a sibling, then send me an email through eCampus and I will be more than happy to respond. The email comes right to my phone, so I will be able to respond and answer your questions. Also, don't forget tutoring on Monday morning before the FSA. I hope to have a room full of kids. I hope that we have standing room only. That would be amazing. So make sure your parents know that I'd like to see you at 8:30 that morning, okay? So here we go. I'm going to try to hit every standard that you've seen in the last 3 weeks. I just picked what I thought were valuable questions for us to answer. So here we go. Jason's checking account balance was $345. Jason withdrew $160 3 times. What is his current balance? I had a lot of students that weren't sure about what the word withdrew meant. To adults, it makes sense because as adults we know what withdrawing money means. You guys, I know we talked about this earlier in the year, but you know, we all forget things. Withdrawing, or Jason withdrew 160, means that he took $160 out of his bank account. So he went to the bank and withdrew $160 3 separate times. So the first thing you want to ask yourself is, how much did he take out altogether? So if we add up how much he took every time, he got a total of $480. So now we say, okay, if he only started with 345, right? And, sorry, I need this paper. If we started with 345 and he took out 480, so we have the $345 and he took out $480. How much would he have left? You see our first number is smaller than the second, so we need to do keep, change, change. So keep, change to addition, change the sign of the second number. Now we have different signs. Remember our song? Same signs, add and keep, different signs, subtract. Keep the sign of the bigger number, then you'll be exact. So we have different signs, so I need to subtract the 2 numbers, the larger number minus the smaller number. This is a standard that you are not allowed to use a calculator on, so all of this work that I'm doing, I'm showing you it because you will have to do this work on your own. Keep the sign of the bigger number. So I come up here and I look and I say, is 480 or 345 bigger? 480 is larger, so I keep the negative. So that means that he would have negative $135 in his bank account. So our answer would be B. Next one. Mario read less than 4 times the number of books that Tanya has read. What factored, keyword here, factored expression represents the number of books that Mario has read. I was super proud of you guys. Most of you were able to take this sentence right here, this word problem, and put it to find the expression 4x minus 2. Where a lot of students messed up is the fact that it's asking for a factored expression. So we need to take 4x minus 2 and factor out the greatest common factor, or the GCF. So I say, what is the greatest common factor of 4 and 2? It's 2. So I'm going to divide my expression by 2. My 2 is on the outside now. 4x divided by 2 is 2x. and negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. So my answer should be D. When I factor the 2 out, I'm left with 2x minus 1. The value of 5 is plotted on a number line. See that? And we need to plot another line, plot another point on the line that is 10 units away from 5. So they gave us the number line that goes from negative 10, I know it's hard to see on the camera, from negative 10 to negative 5 to 0 to 5 to 10. So they want me to put a dot or a point 10 units away. I could either go 10 units to the left, which would bring me here, or I could technically go 10 units to the right. The number line they provided for me to put my point does not include 15, which would be where I would need to place my new point 10 units in the positive direction. So the only answer option that you could have done is negative 5. Like I said, if my number line continued here, I could have put a point on positive 15 as well. Okay? This is another number system problem that we cannot use a calculator. We need to find the value of the expression. I know we've talked a lot about what the word evaluate means. You may have something that says evaluate the following equation or expression. Evaluate, that means solve. So does finding the value. All of those mean just simply solve. It's just fancy words that test makers use to ask you to solve something. So I need to make sure, number 1, that I'm following PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay? So I have 9 times x minus 9 times 20 over negative 5. So there are no parentheses or exponents, so I'm going to start with multiplication and division. So I have here, I'm going to actually write this on my paper so I can. So I have 9 times 3 is going to be 27. I'm going to rewrite my entire expression with what's left over. So I just multiply those. Now I need to do this multiplication here. I have negative 9 times 20 over negative 5. I can turn my negative 9 into a fraction. And when I multiply fractions, I just multiply straight across. So 20 times 9 will give me 180 over 5. And I have a negative times a positive, which will give me a negative, and a positive times a negative, which gives me a negative. And then these two negatives turn into a positive because negative divided by negative is positive. So I'm left with a positive and 27. So I have 27 plus 180 over 5. I can probably simplify my 180 over 5. Yeah. So 180 divided by 5 gives me 36. So I am left ultimately with 27 plus 36. And that gives me 63. So my answer here would be 63. On to equations and expressions. Dante bought a computer that was 20% off the regular price. And if an 8% sales tax was added, what did he pay? The awesome part about these calculators that we use for the FSA is that they have a percent button on them, so it does a lot of the work for you. I'm just checking the time to make sure I'm not running out of time to. Okay. Is they do a lot of the work for you, so the percent button does a lot of the work for us. So I just want to show you, I know we do it in class, but just a quick reminder. So Dante bought the computer, and it was 20% off the regular price of $1,080. 20% off is a discount, which means we're saving money or the price is becoming less. So in my calculator, I'm going to start with the price of my computer, which is $1,080. And I am going to subtract 20%. The percent sign is right here, this little green the second key comes up, and the 2 button, and then equals. So the price of my computer, when it's 20% off, is $864. Now, if after the discount, now an 8% sales tax is being added to the cost of the computer. As you know, sales tax makes your price go up, just like when you go to the store and buy new shoes. If the price is $55 of the shoes, you're really going to pay more than that once they add tax. So 8%. So now I have my 864. I'm now going to add 8 and the second and percent key and push the equals button. So the cost that Dante will pay for that computer is $933.12. 930. Wow, why didn't you see that? $933.12. Okay. Then finally on this side here we have, I guess that would be page A, has a discount card that reduces the price of her grocery bill at a certain grocery store by 5%. If C equals the cost of her groceries, which expression would represent the grocery bill? So if we look at each of these, if I take and convert these to percent, we know in order to find the percent of a number or to add or subtract the percent of a number, we first need to, hold on, sorry, erase that, scratch that. I want you to look at all 4 of these options. So if we look down here at C and D, if the cost of her groceries, let's pretend like the cost of her groceries were $100, and we're taking away 0.05. That's 5 cents in real life. That's 5 cents. So there's no way that that answer could be finding what her groceries will cost. So this is, if she's saving 5%, but we're subtracting 0.05, that makes no sense. We're only saving 5 cents. Remember, if we're going to keep it, if we're going to change it to decimal format, we have to multiply. So also C minus 95 cents is not going to work for us either. So I want you to look at numbers 1 and 2. When I converted my decimals to percents, that turns into 5% of C. If our grocery bill was $100, then 5% of C would be $5. There's no way that if she's only saving, I wish I could go to Target with my red card and save 5% and only pay $5 for my groceries, but that doesn't happen. Now 95% of C, if C is $100, would be $95. This is the one that makes the most sense. Why? If she's saving 5%, that means that the 100% of the cost of the groceries is being reduced to 95% because she's saving. So we have 100% minus the 5% that she's saving will give her 95% of the cost. Okay? So that's going to be answer B. I'm going to stop this video and do a few more from the back. So please, once you finish watching this, please flip to the other video. I just don't want to run out of time on you. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.